The woman, who held herself so high, unexpectedly threw herself into the professor's arms. And she was pushed down onto the table with a happy smile on her face. She even let the professor do what he wanted to do. Just now, as night fell, the occult monster once again attacked the challenger. Lin Yushu is attempting to use fire release again. Didn't expect that his tongue is sticking out, but didn't even see a spark. While Wang Destiny has already unleashed all firepower to deal with the monster. But he did not expect Lin Yushu's ability to be so unstable. However, at this moment 10 of the occult monster suddenly flew towards Lin Yushu. When Lin Yushu noticed, he suddenly reached into his pants pocket. Then he turned around without looking back. A steel rod fiercely slammed into the monster's crotch. That terrifying monster was instantly killed with one strike. Lin Yushu then triumphantly said with a smile, "You didn't think I had a follow-up move, did you?" At the same time, in a certain large character in the real world, a professor is talking about whether desire should exist. Before discussing this issue, we might as well reflect on what would happen if people had no desires. In my opinion, people without desire would become no different from wild beasts, or even inferior to them. Knowledge, technology, emotions, which of these is not built upon desire? The students present here are studying tirelessly. Aren't you all striving to stand out? That is desire. Scholars who study technology, whether their goal is to benefit society or to achieve fame and leave a mark in history, are also driven by desire. Those who sacrifice everything for love or passionate couples are ultimately seeking to fill the emotional void within themselves. This is also a manifestation of desire. So, classmates, do not think of desires as a derogatory term, and do not suppress your desires. What we need to do is to face desires, accept desires, and fulfill desires. Once the long and eloquent speech was finished, there was an immediate outbreak of wild applause below. However, at that moment the professor's phone in his pocket suddenly vibrated. It was a praise text message from Hearts J admiring his speech, which caught the professor by surprise. After reading the message, he quickly looked out the window of the classroom, only to see Hearts J, twisting his body awkwardly, sending him an air kiss from a distance. After class, the professor took Hearts J to his office. Looking at Hearts J's exquisite face, the professor immediately asked, "Sister, how come you're here?" Hearts J jokingly replied, "Why can't I come?" As soon as the words fell, the professor immediately reached out and grabbed her wrist. Then he flipped over and pressed Hearts J firmly onto the table, laughing loudly. "I want you to come every day." And Hearts J smiled contently and said, "All right, how about the woman?" The professor immediately furrowed his brow and said, "Are you referring to that ugly monster? I have already saved her." Hearts J immediately stood up and nodded. "Great. Diamonds K assigned a new task to us. It seems there's no chance for slacking off at all." The professor immediately expressed dissatisfaction with a cold snort. Diamonds K is just someone who gives orders. Wait until sister becomes Hearts K. I bet he won't even have the courage to talk to her. Hearts J immediately noticed and came down from the table, then leaned close to the professor and smiled. "All right, you dare speak ill of him with just a little Club 7. Remember to speak more in the future. I love hearing it. The investigative agency is looking for us everywhere now. You should tone down your lectures recently. Of course, if you don't like it, you can do what you want now." When this was said, the professor, Club 7, immediately burst into laughter. "Can I take down Gufeng? Great. Sister, you finally agreed to me. I can finally take down that guy. This extremely powerful bone staff. The cost it uses almost caused the man to die on the spot. Just now, Hearts let Club 7 go and do what they wanted to do. At this moment, Club 7 only wants to take down Gufeng." After Hearts J left, Club 7 took out a small bottle filled with red liquid. Then he revealed a crazy smile. "Child, I can finally avenge you." Then black scales appeared on his body. In the blink of an eye, he transformed into a pitch-black mamba snake. 3 years ago, in a certain residential area, a sofa was ignited by a cigarette butt thrown carelessly. The whole residential area was instantly engulfed in raging flames. And Club 7 was also fleeing in a hurry in this residential area. Gufeng is responsible for this rescue operation. Club 7 grabbed Gufeng's hand eagerly and said, "Officer, please save my child." Gufeng couldn't help but pause when he heard the words. He saw the fire growing more intense. Gufeng then quickly asked which room the child was in. Club 7 held his head and said, "In the living room next to the TV in a glass tank." Upon hearing this, Gufeng's expression changed instantly. "A glass tank?" Club 7 then nodded earnestly and said, "Yes, a glass tank. Black mamba snakes are most afraid of fire. It must be very scared now. Please save it. When this was said, Gufeng suddenly froze. Black mamba snake, are you saying your child is a snake? Are there other people in the room? At this time a teammate on the side also reminded, we still have a mission to carry out. Since it's not a person, let's not waste time here. Upon hearing this, Club 7 immediately burst into tears and begged Gufeng to save his child. Just at that moment, the floor where the fire was suddenly erupted in a violent explosion. Gufeng hurriedly turned around to look towards that room when he heard the sound. He was shocked to find that flames were engulfing a living person. Immediately, Gufeng angrily roared, is anyone in the house? I'm asking you. Are there still people in the house? Club 7, however, revealed a cold smile. People? My mother is still inside. Gufeng immediately gritted his teeth and said, I just asked if there are still people inside, why don't you answer? But Club 7 was indifferent. That old lady, how could she be more important than my child? It's you who killed my child. It's you. At this moment, in the wilderness camp of Desire World, Lin Yushu and Wang Destiny have already defeated a group of monsters. Wang Destiny couldn't help but be curious about when Lin Yushu took out the weapon. But Lin Yushu said that this was just picked up. Wang Destiny immediately understood. No wonder the fog retreated. He still didn't see where Pang Hu's weapon was thrown. I didn't expect this kid to hide things without a sound. Then Wang Destiny said unkindly, I didn't intend to steal your stuff. I just wanted to remind you. All items used in Desire World will have side effects. Even though Wang Destiny says so. But deep down he is still very reluctant. Because the side effects of Blade of Wailing are too dangerous. He still needs a handy weapon with less deadly side effects. However, at that moment, Lin Yushu suddenly noticed that the fallen monsters on the ground were quietly getting up and struggling to crawl towards the direction of the tent. But obviously Wang Destiny also noticed. He directly stomped his foot and rushed out quickly. He just killed those heavily injured monsters with one punch. Seeing Wang Destiny easily take care of Lin Yushu, I immediately laughed. I thought those mutilated monsters were very powerful, but they turned out to be just a group of small fries. If it hadn't been so sudden, those few people wouldn't have been in trouble just now. As the monsters continued to fall one by one, the battle quickly reached its conclusion. And the blonde man suddenly noticed the baseball bat in Lin Yushu's hand. He immediately spoke up and asked, isn't that Pang Hu's bone club? When did you get it? You don't have to worry. I don't plan on stealing your things. But you seem fine. How could this happen? Pang Hu previously mentioned to me the cost of using this bone club. You just used it to kill a few monsters. After giving it some thought, Lin Yushu replied, around 3 or 4. The golden-haired man then spoke again. By that logic, you should be breaking 3 or 4 bones now. Every time you use a bone club, 1 bone will break. Upon hearing this, Lin Yushu's face immediately turned ugly and he said, no way. Who can bear this cost? If I had randomly killed just now, wouldn't I have died on the spot? As soon as the words fell, a beam of light suddenly broke through the air and slammed directly on his shoulder. The boy was repeatedly attacked by monsters. He also discovered the reason for the appearance of the monsters. Just now Lin Yushu used a bone club to kill several monsters. And he suffered the cost of using the desire artifact. The severe pain of bone fracture instantly caused him to fall to the ground. Later, Lin Yushu slyly wanted to use a bone club to exchange for Wang Destiny's dagger. But Wang Destiny said he couldn't afford it. The young man beside him quickly comforted Wang Destiny, saying that Desire World is different from the real world. Here losing a hand or a foot won't lead to death, just a few broken bones. You'll be fine in a bit. Although all the monsters have been eliminated, there are still some challengers who have perished. The number of people in the team is decreasing, and no one knows what will happen in the upcoming escort mission. Can one survive smoothly? For a moment the whole situation fell silent, and everyone was too preoccupied to speak. At that moment, Lin Yushu suddenly noticed a girl hiding in the corner, crying. So he quickly stepped forward to comfort her, saying, don't be afraid, little sister. If it really doesn't work, you can follow me, and I will protect you. However, the girl continued to cry non-stop, saying, I'm really scared. Can you protect me? Also, your complexion doesn't look very good. You look like you're about to die. Lin Yushu, on the other hand, stubbornly insisted that he had only broken a few bones. He then curiously asked, I still don't know your name. Why did you enter Desire World? But the girl whispered, do you want to hear the truth, big brother? As soon as the words fell, the girl plunged her hand into her own chest. Then she took out a still beating heart and said, Brother, don't you want to hear the truth? Listen then. This terrifying scene instantly scared Lin Yushu to pee himself. But the girl suddenly pounced on him, ready to finish him off. However, Wang Destiny had already noticed the clues. He directly grabbed the girl's head with one hand. Then Wang Destiny spoke again. If nothing unexpected happens, I already know how these monsters appear. Girls and such only affect my clearance speed. How far you can go is how far you can roll. Due to having experienced it once before, everyone reacted promptly to the appearance of the monsters this time. In addition, since these monsters were not very strong, the players quickly gained the upper hand. And Wang Destiny finally spoke out his analysis. The reason for the appearance of the monsters was fear. The girl initially came to me because she was scared. I originally thought she was pretending, but I noticed there were tear marks on her face. Clearly, she had cried when she was alone. And just now that little girl, though she survived the monster attack, I have been paying attention to her. She appeared very scared from beginning to end, with tears constantly flowing. If I'm not mistaken, the danger tonight originated from fear. When scared to a certain extent, a transformation will occur, turning into a monster that digs into its own heart. Since the logic that was previously established can strengthen one's power, then it stands to reason that other things can also be feasible. Therefore, I am going to take some action next. Everyone was instantly dumbfounded upon hearing this. While Wang Destiny grinned broadly, he directly used logic chain to enhance his agility. At the moment of completing the enhancement, he suddenly disappeared on the spot. Then he directly attacked the surviving challengers. He didn't wait for them to react and immediately knocked them unconscious. Learning from the lessons of the Tragedy of Greatness challenge, Wang Destiny's goal is very clear at this moment. Human thoughts cannot be controlled, just like me saying not to think about a pink elephant. The brain cannot help but think of a pink elephant. Understanding the mechanism is just one aspect. More importantly, making these challengers all surrender. Even if they appear fearful in their dreams, it would still be better than the current situation. After all the challengers were knocked out, the scene instantly quieted down. Wang Destiny, however, felt somewhat puzzled. Why is there no movement at all? Could it be that their task is to win by lying down? This is too unfair. Later, Wang Destiny no longer thought about it and gestured to Lin Yushu, asking if they had found any clues. Lin Yushu originally wanted to show off and keep the suspense. He immediately quieted down after being shown up by Wang Destiny. There was actually no significant discovery. It was just the girl in the pink dress at the very beginning. She mentioned a village. I wonder if this village is the soul-returning village. If the village mentioned by the monsters is indeed soul-returning village, then they have changed from attackers to victims. The people who deceive them into leaving the village. The story in Luoda's mouth has shaped himself into a hero. But what if this is a scam? The boy vaguely guessed that Luoda and his two brothers are the masterminds behind the scenes. But what they do not know is that they have already fallen into the trap set by the Luoda brothers. Just now, Wang Destiny and Lin Yushu suddenly realized that the story told by Luoda might be a scam. Wang Destiny immediately began to calmly analyze. Did you notice that the guy named Luoming mentioned 4 times that the gods will bless us? I used to think that the god mentioned by Luoming was the god of desire, but now it seems that this so-called god. It is very likely the god that those monsters speak of, who demands everything to be sacrificed. Our current task is to escort Luoda to Bone City. Although the monster attacks are somewhat dangerous, but there is still a high chance of completing the mission. If our guest changes the situation, perhaps the difficulty will increase dramatically. Lin Yushu understands Wang Destiny's intention. The desire world is full of twists and turns, with too many variables. As long as they complete the task as required, they are likely to pass the level. However, if they deviate from the script, they may very well fall into a deadly vortex. However, Wang Destiny spoke up again, saying, I have a way. It depends on whether you dare or not. We just need to capture a monster alive, and see if we can find out the real reason for Luoda's pursuit from their mouths. As soon as this was said, Lin Yushu immediately became afraid and didn't dare to try it at all. The two brothers, Luoda, who were hiding in the tent and eavesdropping, thought that Wang Destiny was really too crazy. This was definitely not something a human could come up with. Luoda couldn't help but exclaim, that guy is really smart and very strong. But no matter how strong he is just a human. Luoming then showed a confident smile and said, Bro, don't worry. I have a way. The next morning, Luoda and his brother walked out of the tent, holding their heads and crying bitterly, saying, No clues. Why were there no clues? If there were clues, maybe they wouldn't have died. Meanwhile, Wang Destiny and Lin Yushu watched the performance of the two with mocking expressions. At that moment Luoda spoke again. I'm sorry everyone. In fact, I could have made another choice. I didn't speak up earlier because I was being selfish. Seeing that the other party was about to reveal their cards, Wang Destiny and Lin Yushu immediately wielded their weapons and prepared themselves. But unexpectedly, Luoda suddenly announced that the escort mission was to end there. At this moment Wang Destiny and the two of them were instantly confused. While Luo Ming questioned why he did this, Luoda also explained, I can't bear to see anyone else getting hurt. The monster's target is me. As long as you stop escorting me, there will be no danger. Luo Ming and I will go on by ourselves. This is my choice, so everyone's task will be completed automatically. Wang Destiny and Lin Yushu have no idea what he is talking about. And the surrounding contestants immediately became excited when they heard that the task was about to end. However, Wang Destiny still kept a close eye on Luoda, sacrificing oneself for the greater good. I unexpectedly witnessed the brilliance of human nature. Wang Destiny tried to find traces of conspiracy on Luoda and Luo Ming's faces, but their expressions did not reveal any flaws, almost as if they should have written guilt on their faces. This moment, Jinjia suddenly approached Wang Destiny and left his contact details. When they return to the real world, he will treat Wang Destiny to a meal. Wang Destiny, however, asked curiously, Can you tell me what desires you want to fulfill? Jinjia's face immediately turned ugly and said, Actually, it's nothing. My sister had an accident that resulted in blindness because of me. Along the way, I have fulfilled several desires. Even though my sister can see now, how could a normal person have 6 eyeballs? But I think this time I should be able to help her fully recover. Actually, everyone knows that lies require countless other lies to cover them up. Jinjia, like most people, entered the desire world for family. From the ghostly shadows at the beginning, to the eyeball digging in the mist, and finally the monstrous heart-wrenching events of last night, all the mechanisms were thought of by Wang Destiny. Lin Yushu's flames also left a very shocking impression on them. Everyone knows in their hearts that if it weren't for these two people, they definitely wouldn't have survived until now. Soon, one of the challengers asked Luoda if he could leave. Luoda simply said, No need to worry. I just don't want to watch everyone die here. Of course, the same goes for myself. So, I hope everyone can help out in the end. According to the task prompt, in order to avoid the monsters in Soul Returning Village, we have changed the route and chosen a more difficult path to Bone City. But we were still caught up by them, so I have to suspect the presence of a traitor among us. Don't you find it strange? Normally, the challenges in Desire World are supposed to have NPCs issuing tasks. Have you ever thought about it? Or perhaps, to put it another way, monsters are always around us. In order to ensure a smooth arrival at Bone City, and to prevent any of you from being harmed on the way back, I hope that before parting ways, you can help me deal with the traitor first. The boy was executed as a traitor because he stood out too much, but he not only did not die, he even directly killed the person who tried to attack him. Just now, the Luo brothers suddenly offered to help others complete the task. But there is one condition: they want help in eliminating the traitor. Upon hearing this, Jinjia immediately asked, Traitor? Are you mistaken? We almost died a few times in the hands of those monsters. How could there be a traitor? But Luoda insisted, What you said is right, but from my observation, some people have never actually encountered life-threatening danger. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone immediately followed Luoda's gaze and looked towards Wang Destiny and Lin Yushu. Wang Destiny immediately understood that his words from yesterday had been overheard, and Lin Yushu angrily accused him of slander. But at this moment Luoda spoke up again, asking everyone to think. If you were the mole, what is the first thing you would need to do? It would definitely be to gain trust. Ghostly shadows, mist and sacrifices. Why do none of us know how the monster kills people? Only he knows. Why is it that every time he can handle it so easily? I want to. The answer is obvious. They want to gain our trust. And the fact also proves. He not only gained the trust, but also received your gratitude. As the crowd dispersed and distanced themselves from Lin Yushu, he immediately expressed dissatisfaction, saying, Why are you all hiding so far away? How come you forgot to thank old Wang just now? He is clearly trying to frame us. And you too, I can see that you never intended to let us leave. Because old Wang resolved the previous crises, it has interfered with your real plans, right? That's why you are now inciting everyone to play the trick of using borrowed knives to kill. But Luoda just sneered at it. What borrowed knives to kill? I don't understand. All of what I said. It's all to ensure everyone's safety. I and Luo Ming can assure everyone that once the spy is dealt with, the escort mission will be completely over, and everyone can go home. You will all be able to hear the whispers of the gods. Jin Jie is completely shaken by this. Luoda was right. Everything is for the sake of ensuring everyone's safety. Once the mole is dealt with, our mission will be completely accomplished. Lin Yushu was stunned as soon as he saw the situation. Just a moment ago, you were the one leading the way, saying that we should thank them properly. Wang Destiny did save you all. But Wang Destiny sneered disdainfully and said, I only ask once, have you made up your minds? Although Jin Jie was in a panic, she remained resolute. Forgive us, we had no choice. Just then, a gunshot suddenly exploded in the crowd. Wang Destiny was caught off guard. He was instantly pierced by the bullet. He saw his friend fall into a pool of blood. Lin Yushu immediately panicked. And Jin Jie and others didn't expect that someone would actually make such a ruthless move. And the person who made the move was actually an inconspicuous boy in the crowd. Just as Lin Yushu was about to curse loudly, the boy did not hesitate to shoot at his chest again. Lin Yushu was completely blown up this time. You little garbage, you can't afford to play. You don't even dare to confront me head-on. But before he could finish his sentence, he collapsed directly on the ground. And the boy couldn't help but spurt out a mouthful of ketchup, because this gun transfers 10% of the damage back to the shooter. But this is no big deal for him. Then he turned around indifferently. Are you very surprised? They are in cahoots. Either spare them or kill them all. There is no need for kindness in this world. Then he turned around and asked, Now, our mission is complete. But before he could finish speaking, Wang Destiny appeared suddenly behind him and said coldly, surprised or not? Expected or not? Before he could react, Wang Destiny directly stabbed him. After it was all over, Wang Destiny immediately said indifferently,